CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. We want to get right to next weather chief meteorologist and hurricane specialist Ivan Kurbera because it's a next weather alert day.
It is indeed, and a next weather alert evening. This is one of those deals where it's going to start very late, so don't look outside, see sunshine. I think we're done here. In fact, we haven't even started the next weather alert. Basically, the peak I'm expecting from 7 to 11. We're right now just cooking the atmosphere. Some of us have had some storms well down to the south, but for the most part, that line, that cluster that I'm expecting, that won't arrive until later, and I'll show you that next weather rain tracker. What are we expecting out of the next weather alert? Well, damaging wind potential, 50, 60 mile an hour winds. So much cold air above us that we could produce some hail along with that. Frequent lightning as well. That's part of the equation here. And areas of heavy rainfall, would not be surprised to get certainly some flood advisories. But if some of the thunderstorms kind of hang out over the same area, we could be looking at a flash flood potential. In fact, you have a low end threat for that heading into this evening. Look at radar and clouds. There's just not much out there right now. We did have a little cluster of thunderstorm activity that came out of a boundary here across northern Keys and Key Largo, getting hit right now with some heavy rain and a couple of lightning strikes. This will rain itself out over the area, and of course that's not the main event. That's to come later on this evening. So we'll put next weather rain tracker in motion here. You'll be able to see the storms beginning to percolate, beginning to kind of pop up, and as we head into the evening hours, 6, 7 o'clock, the peak of the event for tonight, that's when it's going to be. So between 7 and 11 o'clock, and depending on how the thunderstorms develop, where they develop, and how they interact with each other, we could have some additional storms as we head into late this evening. And that is not, as far as the only day that we have a next weather alert. It continues into tomorrow for additional rainfall. This is going to be for your Friday, and additional rainfall that's going to come in the form of some strong and perhaps even some severe thunderstorms. But once again, the timing a little bit earlier. You see that on next weather rain tracker between 2, 3 o'clock. We'll start popping some cells, and then everything kind of pushes and coalesces right around the evening time. We're going to be going outside, enjoying our Friday evening, but this is what is going to greet us there. So keep in mind, it's going to be a stormy next couple of evenings. As far as accumulations, again, pockets of several inches. Would not be surprised to get 2, 3, 4 inches of rainfall in a short amount of time in an area that could certainly, as a result, be flooding with us here. And you can see a lot more purples as we add Friday's totals to the mix. And the Storm Prediction Center still has us tomorrow at a level 1 of 5, moving things a little bit further up to the north, so kind of slicing off towards the southern end of Miami-Dade. But either way, it is still going to be a stormy afternoon for tomorrow. As far as temperatures coming down a bit, that's the one thing we're getting relief from, upper 80s as opposed to the mid 90s that we've been dealing with. And that, of course, is due to the cloud cover and the potential for more storms in the afternoon. We're going to get them. It's just a matter of whether they turn severe on us or not. Then for the weekend, plan ahead for your Memorial Day. Still looks good to me. 30% chance of afternoon showers and storms. Think, it's just basically summer rainy season here, where you have a lot of sun in the morning, midday, and then we pop storms in the afternoon. And that pattern locks in heading into early next week as well.
Ivan, thank you. New developments in court today after a father was arrested. It was on charges that he physically abused his 2-year-old daughter at a Sunny Isles condo. The judge ruled the toddler and her younger sister can stay with their mother while the dad remains behind bars. The state has emergency custody of the children, so the mother can't travel. The family is visiting here from Russia. This is the surveillance video that led investigators to arrest Andrei Sevastivinov on child abuse charges. It is disturbing to watch. The little girl was checked out at the hospital and is reportedly doing okay. Tonight, celebrity car designer Alex Vega is breaking his silence. The South Florida man was shot 3 times in a murder-for-hire plot. Now he is speaking out about the 3 men convicted for the crime. CBS News Miami's Peter Dinch talked to him today.
This is a remarkable story of survival. Alex Vega could have been killed. This is the first time he is speaking since the 3 men were arrested.
Actually, today is one of those days that you thank God for. Finally, it's a closure.
Alex Vega had prayed for this outcome. 3 men, including his former business partner, Rolando Ramirez, found guilty of federal charges in a murder-for-hire conspiracy.
I'm glad that I live in the United States. I'm glad that the law is the law. 12 jurors saw all the evidence. made sure there wasn't a doubt.
Surveillance video showed how Vega was shot 3 times by a masked gunman as he was parking his Land Rover in the driveway of his Kendall Lakes home.
I was shot in the torso. One was right by my spine, one shot was by the heart, and the other was in the shoulder.
You could have lost your life.
It was a very traumatic, very bad experience to live.
Vega endured surgeries for a year.
One of my lungs had collapsed, so you cannot even breathe. All I wanted was not to die in front of my wife and my kids. I just wanted to survive.
Vega says it happened after he had a huge disagreement with Ramirez about their business, Doral Collision.
I already saw the person he was, and I didn't want to be associated with it.
Vega was given this 8-year-old dog, a police-trained Belgian Malinois named Morris, for security.
He senses any gunpowder. He senses anybody who comes with bad intentions. I definitely got to live for the rest of my life looking over my shoulder because I lived it. It's unfortunate because I'm not into bad things.
Alex Vega has owned the auto firm since 2009 and has designed cars for people including Mark Anthony and Usain Bolt. He is the brother of Miami police spokesman Officer Mike Vega. In Southwest Miami-Dade, Peter Dench, CBS News, Miami.
A suspect is in custody right now. It is following the killing of 2 Israeli embassy employees outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. Police and witnesses say the gunman shouted "Free Palestine" and he was taken into custody. The victims were set to be engaged. Israel's prime minister says it now plans to strengthen security at Israeli missions around the world. We're checking in with local law enforcement to see what they might be doing here. CBS News Miami's Najahe Sherman will have the live report starting tonight at 5. Now to the Trump presidency and Trump's budget bill. It's now on its way to several Republican senators. They voiced their opposition to the bill's Medicaid cuts. So now House leaders are expected to make changes to the bill, but warned that they should not go too far. Republicans hope to get the bill to President Trump by July 4th. When we come back, I go one-on-one with Survivor winner Kyle. Hear what he plans to do with his $1 million prize. That's next.
The struggles of sleep apnea, the tossing, the turning.
Have you always had issues with sleep?
I probably did.
Could a popular weight loss drug be the solution to a better night's sleep? We find out tonight at 5:30.
Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Survivor fans, did the person you are rooting for take home the $1 million prize? As always, it was an exciting, down-to-the-wire finish on the award-winning CBS primetime reality TV show. Take a look.
The winner of Survivor 48, Kyle.
5 jury votes was enough for Kyle Fraser to be awarded the title of Sole Survivor. I talked to Kyle about how he managed to outwit, outplay, and outlast the rest. Welcome and congratulations. I am talking to Kyle Fraser, who won last night's $1 million prize on Survivor 48. So how does it feel to be a millionaire?
It feels great, Najahe. I'm so glad, in a game full of secrets, I can finally let the biggest one go. I'm so happy, so blessed. I'm really thankful.
And I know you probably get this question a lot over the last 24 hours. What do you plan to do with all that money?
I came back from the game and I got married a month and a half later. Which I think was a lot of whiplash, to be completely honest with you. But I plan to take care of my family. I'm going to take care of some student loans, which definitely needs to happen. And I'm going to repay the people who've been paying dividends for me my entire life. And I'm excited to do that.
That is so beautiful, paying it forward. So you said you recently got married. What about honeymooning here in Miami with that cash?
Hey, listen, I go down there. The view looks pretty nice from what I'm seeing. I'm in LA right now having a good time. So, yeah, I'll definitely come down south, too.
This contest, this was a tough one because anyone could have won when it came down to the last few. What was your strategy and what made you different?
Yeah, I think my season's very interesting. We played it differently. The people who were big threats or perceived themselves as big threats, we got together, we said we're going to go to the end. What's scary about that is when it comes down to it, the jury can only give somebody the money, one person. And when you're looking at Joe, who's Superman, when you're looking at Eva, when you're looking at Camilla, all these people who have played phenomenal games, looking at Mitch, it's really scary to go to the end with those people. But I did it, and I'm proud of myself for it. You got to bet on yourself too. And I was not going to downplay my accomplishments, and I'm really glad that I own my game.
So we know in Survivor, everybody keeps secrets. You didn't reveal until the end that you are not currently a teacher, but actually a practicing lawyer in New York. Did you say or do anything in the past in terms of your game strategy that incorporated sort of your lawyer skills?
I did. I think it was collecting information and being ready to pivot. I said it out there on the island, I'm a problem solver. That can be with small things in life, that can be with big things. Like, I always can figure out what I need to do to thread the needle. It's harder out there. I was lying about being a lawyer, and I was leaning on that, but I was also leaning on my teacher skills, because I was a teacher actually at one point in my life. And I think both of those things complemented each other well. So I felt it was the perfect time for me to win the game. I felt as if I had had all the life experiences I needed to take it home.
Yeah, everything prepared you for this experience. That's pretty incredible. Anything that you would do different next time, or any advice that you have for people who want to win the game for the upcoming season?
Yeah, you got to be authentic. I played the middle the entire time, and I think it was shown on TV, but it was really, really hard because I gave my true self to a lot of different people, and when the time comes, you have to make decisions, and that's hard. But at the same time, the other side of that is, if somebody's out there faking, if you think it's poker, you think it's chess, it's not the game for you, because there are people out there, and you have to play the game with other people. And that's exactly what I did. So be yourself. It sounds corny. Make fun of me for it later, but it's the truth.
Yeah, well, it worked out well for you. So great strategy. Congratulations on your winnings, and love that you are using that money to help pay it forward as too. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you so much, Najahe. It's been a pleasure.
Survivor will be back on CBS in the fall. The 49th edition of the show will be again set in the Fiji Islands. And that does it for your CBS News Miami Quickcast. I'm Najahe Sherman. Stay tuned for more news right here on CBS News Miami, and have a great day.